JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And by the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Visit gov.ky/steps to learn more. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel. Cayman's bigger, better network.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 12th day of July, 2023, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. If you observe the rules of the road, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. And to remind you that this segment of For the Record, the birthday shoutouts, are brought to you by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture, tap into your roots. More Than Words, located on the second floor of the Thompson Building. And Pizza Boat. They are now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Hop on board the Pizza Boat Express. Pizza Boat makes pizzas even more fun. You can pick up or it can be delivered to you as well. All you have to do is call 949-0000, or you can order online by sending it to www.pizzaboat.ky. You can email them online, www.pizzaboat.ky. So, this segment, For the Record, birthday shoutouts, brought to you by More Than Words and also by Pizza Boat as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. This morning, we want to extend our condolences to the family of Mr. Rudy Ebanks as well, who passed away recently. So our sincere condolences go out to the family of Mr. Rudy Ebanks. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. This morning, again, it is that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call us on a toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at for the record, one word, for the record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261. We can take one call at a time on that number as well. You can follow us on YouTube. You do that simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. And, of course, we are on Facebook as well. So let's see who's celebrating a birthday today, or maybe even who celebrated one yesterday, and who will be celebrating a birthday tomorrow as well. So today we have Mr. Orrett Connor. He is celebrating his birthday today, so we want to wish Mr. Orrett Connor a happy birthday. We also have birthday greetings going out to grandson Joanne McLean, and also to church brother Alex Reed. And those birthday greetings are coming from Miss Jewel. So, birthday greetings from Miss Jewel to her grandson Joanne McLean and her church brother Alex Reed as well. Let's look at other birthdays here. We have an accomplished songwriter, recorder, producer, and minister. Some of you may know her as Lady Saw. Some of you will know her as Marion Hall. She is celebrating her birthday today as well. Lady Saw. She's now preacher. She's now in spreading the gospel and in the church. So we have seen some performing artists actually change their whole genre and go on to religion as opposed to dance hall music and all of those other things, as well. Who's celebrating a birthday tomorrow? Mr. Winston Connolly. He is celebrating his birthday tomorrow as well. So we want to wish Mr. Winston Connolly a happy birthday when it comes tomorrow as well. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts are brought to you by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture, tap into your roots. More Than Words, located on the second floor of the Thompson Building. And Pizza Boat. They're now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. You can hop on board the Pizza Boat Express. Pizza Boat, they make pizzas even more fun. You can pick up or they can be delivered to you as well. All you have to do is call 949-0000, or you can order online through www.pizzaboat.ky. So with that, folks, it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning. You have heard his voice on Radio Cayman, talking about various things occurring in the Brac, in particular, about the maritime industry and the vessels traversing the Caribbean area and beyond, and reporting on what's happening in the maritime industry. None other than Mr. Raymond Scott. I think Mr. Scott came down here for the Sea Sunday, and he has remained in the Grand Cayman for a few days, so we have the pleasure of having him in the studio with us this morning as opposed to having to call in on the phone. So, Mr. Scott, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Yes, good morning. So we're going to talk about a few things that are taking place in the Brac. We know, that that is where you reside. You have resided there, I would imagine, all of your life, and you have, your concerns about the Brac. You have future vision, for what you want the Brac to be like as well. So we want to give you an opportunity to talk about those things.
Yes, I'm born and raised in Cayman Brac, and it's a very nice place, quiet and peaceful. First of all, let me say a very pleasant good morning to all the Cayman Islands. And I am delighted to be here this morning with Mr. O.C., and good morning to Miss Susan. And I will be talking about things happening on Cayman Brac with the various sales of property and homes, which have been very bright in the last 2 years. Property sales and the sales of homes in Cayman Brac, and the population, as I gathered from some statistics, is around 2,100 in Cayman Brac.
And how does that compare? Are we seeing an increase in the population or a decrease? We know that when it comes to employment opportunities in certain areas, that those opportunities may not be as prevalent in the Brac as in Grand Cayman. So, for instance, you may, have your high school graduates or those persons who have graduated from university deciding to remain in Grand Cayman as opposed to relocating to the Brac. How is that trending?
It's trending that most of the school leavers after graduating in Cayman Brac has to come to Grand Cayman to seek employment, and that's regrettable that we are educating our children and we don't have jobs in the Brac to provide for them. So all effort need to be made as to somehow to provide jobs for Cayman Bracers, that they don't have to travel to Grand Cayman, breaking up of the family, youngsters graduating from school, leaving their family members coming over here. And it's greatly appreciated that Grand Cayman is here to offer those opportunities to our youngsters from Cayman Brac. But that's mostly how it is. They graduate and they just move over here to get jobs.
So what jobs would you like to see either transferred to Cayman Brac or created, new job opportunities created in Cayman Brac? Bearing in mind that many people look at Cayman Brac and, of course, the Little Cayman as well as a place of tranquility, quietness. You find a lot of the older Caymanians whose origins are in the Brac, deciding when it comes to retirement to move over to the Brac for that peace and tranquility. Do you want that peace and tranquility to be disturbed by more development? So what type of businesses that you would like to see there? I'm going to ask you to hold off on your response to that because we're going to take a commercial break. And after we return from the commercial break, we'd like to get your response on that. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, with Mr. Raymond Scott, will continue after this short commercial break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series. Brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Olivine Louise Barnett. Olivine Barnett Nipari has lived an exemplary life and is a great example of humility. In her 20s and during the World War II years, she served as a youth missionary to Jamaica for 9 years. She returned to Grand Cayman and continued her work in the Wesleyan Holiness Church, formerly Pilgrim Holiness in West Bay. She is known throughout the Cayman Islands for playing the mandolin, reciting poetry, and singing. She has made a great contribution to the memory bank of the Cayman Islands National Archive, where her narrative has been transcribed. She and her husband, William Osborne Barnett Jr., had 6 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
All aboard the Pizza Boat! Cayman's newest pizzeria. Birthday parties, office luncheons, summer camps, game night. Whatever your occasion, bring the fun with Pizza Boat. A Cayman twist to pizza. Bringing fusion ingredients from all over the globe to give you locally inspired fresh pizzas all day, every day. What's more, now you can enjoy a boat-shaped pizza with toppings of your choice. It's Pizza Boat. Pizza Boat, now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery 949-0000 or order online www.pizzaboat.ky. Pizza Boat. Experience the ultimate pizza voyage.
More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture. Tap into your roots. More Than Words bookstore in the Thompson Building. Supplies local books, gifts, trinkets, keepsakes, wall plaques, and journals. The hub for local authors. More Than Words. So much more. More Than Words is now open. Shop number 4, second floor, Thompson Building. Or call 936-5544.
Are you ready for a midsummer miracle? Get ready for the Christmas in July sale at Tortuga and discount retail stores. All July, Tortuga is bringing exclusive Red Dot deals in store. Discover incredible savings on selected items that will make your summer merrier. But hurry, the Red Dot deal is available while stock lasts during regular store trading hours. Don't miss the once in a summertime offer to save on your favorite beverages and more with Christmas in July. Visit a Tortuga and discount retail stores near you.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Hey, is your phone slow, overheating, and dropping important calls? Don't fret. This summer, it's time to flip out with Digicel. Introducing the all-new Samsung Flip 4 with its sleek design and cutting-edge features. You'll flip into the summer in style and confidence. This summer, you can grab the all-new Samsung Flip 4, all just for $145. Flip into the summer with Digicel. Visit a Digicel store near you and grab the all-new Samsung Flip 4 and the amazing 7-day Prime Ultra plan today.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning, all the way from Cayman Brac, Mr. Raymond Scott. So, Mr. Scott, the question that I posed before we went to the commercial break was, some of the work or the industries that could be transferred or could be developed in the Brac to ensure that most Brackers don't have to travel to Grand Cayman to work.
Yes, Mr. O.C., what that would mean and what I would like to see is jobs in the secretarial field. And computing, secretarial field, where offices could be established in Cayman Brac to hire the school leavers to help alleviate the problem from most of them coming over here to seek employment.
Okay. Now, I know you want to talk about school and the education system as well. You have some concerns there. Tell our listening and viewing audience what your concerns are.
Yes, years ago, all of our students used to do their classes at Cayman Brac High School, Raymond Scott High School, and graduate. And if they wanted to come over here to further their education or seek employment or go on to college, that was the way it was done. But in recent years, students have to leave and come over here and attend classes in Grand Cayman, leaving their parents at underage instead of being 18 years of age. Some has to leave at 16, 17 and come over here and then do their classes and return to Cayman Brac and then graduate. So we need to upgrade the education system in Cayman Brac, that our school students can stay over in Cayman Brac and do as they were doing before, do their classes and graduate over there and finish up, and if they need to further their education, to go abroad.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this voluntary, based on the subjects that the particular student opts to take, or this is a requirement for all students before the graduation?
It is what the student opts to take.
Okay.
And that is not available in Cayman Brac to that degree, so they will have to travel over here and do a session 4 months, 6 months. I know one girl is planning to come over here at the age of 15 from underneath their parents and come over to Grand Cayman and be over here. That is a very young age to live away from their parents and come over here. So all of that, to me, needs to be eliminated. We need an upgrade in Cayman Brac, whatever it takes, to alleviate that problem that a 15-year-old don't have to leave from their parents and come over to Grand Cayman. That is breaking them away too early from their parents, and I want to see that problem solved, not about if and see what they can do. I want that problem solved.
So what about the fact that we see now, and many persons, especially adults, attending college, attending university, but doing online classes, remote classes? Is that a possibility or something that should be explored for those students who choose particular subjects? Because the numbers may not justify having, teachers in particular subjects just there for that, unless you have teachers who are teaching in the Brac, qualified to teach otherwise, and then qualified to teach these particular subjects as well. Would the online option be one that would be acceptable?
Yes, sir. That definitely so. That would be a big option, a very welcomed option.
Now, before we go to our 8 o'clock news, we have about 5 more minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. We hear people voicing concerns about the situation in the Brac, the crime situation in the Brac. Some people attribute it to the fact that some people are leaving Grand Cayman and going over to Cayman Brac, and not necessarily, with what should I say, with impeccable characters, and as a result, you have seen an increase in crime in the Brac. While there are others who may attribute the increase in criminal activity, the increase in drug use in the Brac, to the local Brac population as well. Any observations in that area?
Yes, sir. Things have changed in Cayman Brac. It has been some first of its kind in history. You have been hearing about it. The public been hearing about it. Things happen in Cayman Brac that has never happened before in the little paradise island that I call it. That's the place where yourself and many others from Grand Cayman, the only place you can go to have absolute paradise, nice place. From the hustle and bustle down here, you visit Cayman Brac, and I mean, on a Saturday and on a Sunday, the roads, hardly any traffic. You drive from end to end, and that's how Cayman Brac is.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen an increase in the numbers of persons other than those who are coming to the Brac on work permits? Have you seen an increase in the number of those persons who are just coming over to the Brac to live? You want to keep that mic about four inches away from you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So have you seen an increase in those numbers?
Yes, there has been an increase in those numbers.
Mm-hmm. One of our listeners is curious to know whether or not if you have ever considered running for political office in the Brac, if you have ever considered that.
Yes,
before.
certainly, and it has been more than 200 people that have spoken to me in the past are recommending that and asking me and saying that, yes, Raymond, you should do it. Certainly.
Okay. So people have asked, but have you considered it? If you know,
I has considered it, but not made a final decision about it.
Okay. You at the Sea Sunday event, you were. It was announced that you were made an honorary member of the Seafarers. Can you speak about receiving that honorary certification, and what does that mean, to you and for you?
That is a great step forward and a great appreciation to the Seafarers Association of Grand Cayman, to the president, Mr. Denniston Tibbetts, and the other members of the committee that made that decision to have me involved with the Seafarers Association. That is greatly appreciated. And thanks to all the members of the Grand Cayman Seafarers Association for doing that. I'm delighted. Thank you all. Whoever is listening, many thanks again for that.
Okay, so we have reached the top of the hour of the 8 o'clock news. After the 8 o'clock news, we're going to continue a conversation with Mr. Scott for another 15 or 20 minutes. And we want to talk about your passion and what you do, as far as the maritime industry is concerned, in communicating, in helping to coordinate search and rescue at times, or to alert those who are responsible for search and rescue to various situations. We also want to talk about your efforts to have crossing vessels honor certain persons at certain times or certain events that are taking place in the Cayman Islands as well, how you go about that. I want to talk about your investment in equipment, something that you have undertaken on your own. For those who may have watched or listened to the Radio Cayman broadcast of Sea Sunday, you spoke about how you started. And for those who didn't have the opportunity to listen to that or to watch that, we want to repeat that for them as well. How you came about not only taking this on as a passion, but eventually representing Lloyd's of London for what we would consider a pittance, and where that situation is today. So, folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation with Mr. Raymond Scott will continue, so please stay tuned.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Price Right is 8 o'clock. Summer is heating up.
And Priced Right is sizzling.
Splash down into Priced Right Sizzling Summer for a chance to dive into our prize pool worth over $2,000.
Between now and July 31st, your purchase of $100 or more gives you a chance to compete for one of 20 prize packs with the best summer electronics and home goods.
That'll be sure to keep you cool and your summer hot.
Promotion only valid at Priced Right at the Airport Center. For more info, go to fosters.ky/Priced Right Summer.
Summer better for less at Priced Right.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
I'm April Cummings with your news at this hour. The Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency says it has allocated $500,000 toward energy efficiency retrofits, dubbed the CHEER program. The applications are being accepted now at resilience.ky. Once the funding has been utilized, the ministry says it will evaluate the program implementation and consider opportunities for extending the initiative, subject to the approval of additional funding. To be eligible for the CHEER program, which essentially finds ways to make your home more energy efficient and save you money in the process, you'll need to be Caymanian, own your own home, and live in it. Your total household income must be CI $4,000 per month or less, and your home cannot be any larger than 2,500 square feet gross floor space. Your monthly energy consumption needs to be 2,000 kilowatts or more. Applications for this program are open through the 31st of August this year, and you can find the information at resilience.ky/energy. Resilience Cayman has also issued a request for proposals for contractors who are interested in taking part in the project. You can find out more about that at resilience.ky and submit a bid. After multiple incidents of assault attempts directed at police officers trying to do their jobs, RCIPS Chief Superintendent Brad Ebanks says these kinds of assaults will not be tolerated, and anyone convicted faces a fine of up to $5,000, 2 years in prison, or both. The warning comes after at least 3 incidents in the past few weeks. No serious injuries were reported.
I trust that the Premier will continue to monitor events in the coming weeks to see if the situation improves and serious crimes are brought under control.
Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Roy McTaggart, weighing in after his meeting with the Commissioner of Police earlier this week. He's calling on the Premier and government to look at longer-term recommendations to address crime and ensure there's sufficient funding in the budget to implement and support them. Mr. McTaggart says his meeting Monday with the Commissioner was productive and police have the full support of the Opposition. Students this summer have a unique opportunity to hone the skills needed to showcase their musical talents.
At the Hopscotch Summer Camp, campers will learn how to create and complete a release-ready song in 5 days. This involves songwriting, production, mixing and mastering, and fundamentals of the music industry. And one of the most important things campers will learn is collaboration. This will be taught through theory and also practical as well.
Award-winning musician and producer there, Jason Gilbert. He says the camp is paying tribute to Hopscotch Studios founder and musician, the late Charles Gregory. The camps are being offered each week, ending on July 28th. You can find out more by emailing hopscotchstudiosky@gmail.com. That is your local news at this hour. I'm April Cummings. Now to the BBC for stories making headlines around the world.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. Thailand's Constitutional Court has accepted a case accusing a progressive politician of trying to overthrow Thai democracy. The reformist Move Forward Party of Pita Limjaroenrat pledged to amend the country's harsh lèse-majesté law. He denies any wrongdoing. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has welcomed the imminent announcement of a security pact set to be confirmed by G7 leaders at a NATO summit in Lithuania. He said it was a step towards joining the alliance. The Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has laid a wreath in Jenin in the occupied West Bank, where Israel carried out a major military operation last week. 12 Palestinians were killed during the raid. Protests are taking place in Kenya against tax rises, despite a warning that any demonstrations would be illegal. Police have used tear gas to disperse crowds in the capital, Nairobi, and the city of Mombasa. Pakistan's military says 4 soldiers and 3 Islamist militants have been killed in fighting in the southwestern province of Balochistan. It started after insurgents attacked a garrison near the city of Job. The UN Human Rights Council has passed a contentious resolution on religious hatred after a Quran was burned in front of a Swedish mosque last month. Pakistan brought the resolution, urging states to do more to prevent and prosecute such acts. Japan's urged Hong Kong not to tighten food import restrictions if it releases wastewater from the damaged Fukushima nuclear plant. The Foreign Ministry held a briefing to assure officials of the safety of Japanese food. Milan Kundera, the Czech-born author who's best known for his novel The Unbearable Lightness of Being, has died. He was 94. He was once considered a potential Nobel laureate and shortlisted for the prestigious Man Booker International Prize in 2005. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
When a storm is approaching, be sure to not only stock up on drinking water, but also non-drinking water. That is, water for cleaning and washing. You can store non-drinking water in clean bathtubs or large, sterile containers. Visit the Water Authority's website, www.waterauthority.ky, or follow us on social media for more hurricane preparedness tips.
The Commission for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that the Register of Interests portal is now accepting declaration submissions. All annual declarations are due on the 30th of July.
If you need assistance to complete your declaration, the Commission for Standards in Public Life has a new tutorial video available to provide further guidance. Visit www.standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky/register of interest to view the tutorial video today.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Hi, my AC just went out and I need someone to come fix it.
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Okay, what about tomorrow?
We're only open on Thursday. And we're fully booked.
Have anything next week?
No.
Okay, when can you send someone out?
The 22nd is open.
I'll take it.
Of December 2023.
With the best medical cover for your dollar, we're like an AC technician who isn't too busy for you. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 87 degrees. Relative humidity is 78%. The barometric pressure is 29.97 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east-northeast at 10 knots. Overnight low temperature was 85 degrees. Synopsis indicate light to moderate winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a weak pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. Radar images currently show no showers over the Cayman area. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures today will be in the low 90s with a heat index of 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 12:36, high tide tonight at 7:28. The sun will set this evening at 6 minutes after 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:56. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday morning.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brac, where people come first.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong series. The Cayman Strong series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving our goals is rewarding, but at times can feel frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success. When setting your goals, break it down. Once the long-term goals are set, work backwards to set smaller and more manageable goals. These should be specific, measurable, and achievable. For example, study in the library for 1 hour 3 times per week instead of study more. Consider daily, weekly, yearly goals as success to help you focus on the essential steps today to ensure you are prepared when tomorrow's opportunities become available. Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong series. The Cayman Strong series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning, and let's take a look at traffic. Coming from the east on Shamrock Road, traffic is moving on steadily. There's steady traffic on the Linford-Pearson Highway. Traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown is steady, and eastbound traffic on Cool Road moving on moderately. No issues on Owen Roberts Drive as traffic is light to moderate. Traffic flowing at a good pace on Godfrey Nixon Way and Easton Avenue. As we look to Huldah Avenue, traffic is steady and coming off of Bobby Thompson Way. Edward Street flowing light to moderate. Shedden Road, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. Steady traffic coming off of the Esterly Tibbetts Highway and continuing on to North Sound Road to the Industrial Park area, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, click it or ticket. Have a good morning.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I go in flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline. Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Britke. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
No, man. I'm tired of seeing a new charge on my phone bill every month.
You are always complaining about that bill. I think it's time you make that switch to Digicel.
I've been with my network for more than a decade. I don't know if I want to move over now.
Well, better later than never. When you switch to Digicel, you get better speeds, more data, and simply more value. Best of all, no dishonest practices. What they say is what you get. Make that switch today and get 50% off your first 2 months.
50% off my first 2 months? Mary, you're convincing me now. Okay, I will visit a Digicel store near me.
Experience the bigger, better network. Switch your postpaid number to Digicel for 50% off your first 2 months or get a free 30-day Prime bundle for prepaid customers. Make the switch today.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, all the way from the Brac, Mr. Raymond Scott. And we have now been joined by Dr. Steve McFeel as well. So, Doc, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you, Mr. For the Record, and good morning to Mr. Scott, and good morning to all the people in For the Record land, and all those people who listen to you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and all those people in the Cayman diaspora too.
Okay.
Who listens? I know they're listening.
Oh yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes. I have been reminded that Minister Kenneth Bryan celebrating a birthday today as well, and birthday greetings are coming from his mom, but I think the entire Cayman Islands should be wishing Minister Bryan a happy birthday, and certainly we here at Radio Cayman want to wish him a happy birthday as well. But I'm made to understand it was on Facebook as well, but and comments on there about Minister Bryan's birthday today. So I want to wish him a happy birthday. I hope he's not, usually, Miss Susan, when people start to, every year, of course, obviously, you get 1 year older. Some people, after they reach a certain age, they don't want to remind people that there's a birthday. I don't believe that he's in that group yet, but his mom alerted us, and she wanted to ensure that we wish him a happy birthday for her on air this morning as well. So, gentlemen, one member of our listening audience has written and said, "Good morning, OC and Mr. Scott. From the time Noah came out of the ark, Brackers have been promised that jobs would be outsourced to the Brac in order to provide employment for our graduates. The Brac has a high number of graduates with excellent academic qualifications and nothing available in their own island. Many government functions could be done remotely from the Brac. in this age of high technology, where so many jobs are outsourced to Asia and all over the world, why not to Cayman Brac? Then they go on to say definitely increases in people there's definitely an increase in people moving over from Grand Cayman, and not all are reputable. Going over to work on the road crew, where they make easy money and a steady drug supply. Also, they seem to have easy access to the needs assessment unit services there. There is a terrible criminal element rising in the Brac, and that is very scary. So that's one of our listeners sharing their views and their opinions about the Brac. But like they said, that in the past, promises have been made about outsourcing work to the Brac. This may be a blessing. It may be a blessing in disguise, because at the same time, the Brac is able to retain some of its uniqueness if not too much development takes place over there. And we have seen remote work taking place. It would surprise you. It would surprise you, I am told. I have no anecdotal evidence of it other than, people telling me. But it would surprise you how many government workers since COVID are still working remotely, and whether or not the government can get them back into their offices, is something else as well. Mr. Scott.
Yes, I would like to say a hearty welcome to Mr. Mike Field, and pleasant good morning to you. I am delighted to be here before the two stalwarts of the talk show this morning.
Thank you.
I listened to you all many days in Cayman Brac, and you have some unique, very educational and historic statements to make from your great wealth of knowledge. And I'm very pleased to be sitting before the two of you here this morning, and I hope to be here more often where we can discuss matters.
Thank you.
Mr. Connor, you mentioned about giving a rundown on how I started out with my seafaring career. My seafaring career started out, my brother, Captain Radley Scott, which was mooring master with Cayman Energy, the ship-to-ship transfer company that started in 1977. Him and I made a visit to Captain Vanderlyn, which had a house on the south side at Southeast Bay, east of the public beach, Cayman Brac. We visited him seeking employment with the ship-to-ship transfer operation of Cayman Brac. During that visit, a decision was made to employ my brother, Captain Radley Scott, as a mooring master, to start out as an assistant mooring master. And he was employed and started to work with Cayman Energy, and under the management and control of Captain Harold Banks. Many thanks go out to Captain Harold Banks for employing my brother, Captain Radley, and many other Cayman Brackers. At one time, they had a payroll. They had 95 persons employed with Cayman Energy. That was the second biggest boom next to National Bulk Carriers that employed seamen and secretaries as well on ashore working at the offices.
And that employment with them lasted until when? Because we want to cover your entire career, but we're not going to be able to go into the minute details if we want to cover the whole thing. So that offshore transfer lasted until when, and then what happened after that?
Yes, 1986. Ship-to-ship transfer continued until that time.
Okay.
And they found out it was more economical for the big tanker to carry the crude oil to the U.S. Gulf, offshore Texas, 45 miles, and another one come out and load it there. And that's why we lost the business. And to say in 2007 and 2012, me and my brother had it ready to start back in the Cayman Islands off Cayman Brac, but we didn't get the cooperation quick enough from government's approval to go ahead with it. And finally, when we did get the approval, the company had moved to the Dominican Republic with ship-to-ship transfer of propane. Okay, I will cease from that discussion and go to my history of my career. My brother, Captain Radley, went on a tanker and found a Lloyd's of London shipping index, which was a dictionary of ships stating details and particulars and where the ship was coming from, where it was going. So he said, Raymond, I found and seen this book. So I said to Captain Radley, my brother, when you go back and find another one, get me the address of Lloyd's of London. So he did so. And at age 15, in 1978, I handwritten a letter and posted it to Lloyd's of London via airmail that I was interested in providing a service of contacting the ships and sending the information back to them as an agent in Cayman Brac. And I got a response back, said, yes, we are interested in it. And H.O. Merrin and Company was representing Lloyd's sub-agency, Miss Vita Merrin Bawden. And I got a letter from Miss Vita Merrin Bawden stated that Lloyd's of London had agreed to choose me for that job to communicate with ships at age 15 and asked me how much I would be willing to accept for my services. I said $250. Following that, I got a response.
$250
per month. $250 per month. I got a response back saying, absolutely unacceptable. We are willing to pay you 25 CI dollars per month. So I agreed for the $25 per month and started out at age 15 calling up ships coming from United States, coming and going all over the world. And that's how my career in the maritime shipping communications started.
And you continued with Lloyd's up until when?
Up until 32 years I worked for them. And the salary at 32 years was $290 CI dollars per month. So I considered that as a pittance of a salary. Working 32 years from $25 to $290. But it has educated me of international shipping and trading. Thanks to Lloyd's of London for choosing me as their sub-agent. I have an unlimited wealth of knowledge to know what country, which country imports and exports cargoes to one another. And in doing that, here is where I came in the safety of life at sea, search and rescue. People knew that I was communicating with the ship. So when anyone from the Cayman Islands got in trouble at sea, right away they would say, or in Grand Cayman, they would say, contact Raymond or contact that man in the Brac that talks with the ships and get him to contact and find out, put out alerts for distress, trying to locate missing seamen. And that's how I started out getting in the search and rescue. And I has done over 200 search and rescues in 45 years and involving more than 700 individuals. Caymanians is probably about 100 Caymanians, 40 Jamaicans, Cubans, Americans, British. It's 40 different nationalities that I has been life-saving in, from sinking boats on fire to boats with engine failure, drifting away, damaged sailboat with broken mast and things like that. I think I probably have the record in the Western Hemisphere for the most rescue operations and the most communicable person with ships passing through these areas.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, Doc, I'm not sure if you have any question for Mr. Scott. What I would be curious to know also is there, you spoke about the record that you have in the Caribbean. Well, my question would be, are you aware of any other individuals who are providing the type of service that you're providing, who do it either, for a living or do it as a hobby in terms of, contacting ships as they pass? So we're going to take this commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Mr. Raymond Scott will continue. So, folks, please stay tuned.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
It's a 24-karat summer with Digicel. In honor of our first truly COVID-free summer, Digicel is giving away $24,000. Be one of 10 to win $2,400 this July. For a chance to win, all you have to do is switch to Digicel, activate a Prime bundle, or simply pay your bill on time. It's that easy. It takes 2 minutes to get $2,400 richer. Make the choice to win today and visit a Digicel store near you.
Health behaviours and lifestyle choices such as diet and smoking can be risk factors for non-communicable diseases. The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey will allow the Ministry of Health and Wellness to gather important data on the health of the nation, including these risk factors. This information will inform our plans for the health needs of Cayman's residents, allowing us to better serve our population. Learn more by logging on to www.gov.ky/steps.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Dr. Macfield has a question and an observation for Mr. Scott, but before Doc poses his question, my question was, are you aware of anyone else in the region who does the type of, I'm going to call it work, even though, you're not getting paid for it. It is, to me, more than a hobby. It's a passion that you have as well. Is there anyone similar to you in the Caribbean that you're aware of?
No, sir. I'm totally unaware of anyone else in the Caribbean that does it.
No?
I was going to ask the same question to him, and I was going to ask why he said that they have not why he said they have not put your services into some sort of position where you're representing not only the Cayman Islands but around the Caribbean, because it seems to me that now that they have the Coast Guards and all that sort of stuff, that they can send boats out quickly from Cayman and don't have to actually rely on passing ships. Why is it that they have not incorporated your services with the Coast Guards here and give you a decent salary to do so? Because I believe that you're the only one in the Caribbean that is providing that service, because I noticed that when there's something happening in the Caribbean, they have to send messages all about to Miami or someplace where the American Coast Guard is stationed to get them to do the search and stuff. Why is it that they have not contacted you? I know I have heard your pleas on the radio for some sort of a agreement or arrangements where you could at least make a token livable wage. Why is it that they have not done that to you?
This has been a very big question to thousands of people in the Cayman Islands, and it's quite alarming why it has not reached the stage of fruition to appoint me to a position as the Maritime Safety Authority or Search and Rescue Coordinator. All I has been getting is promises and no action, and they're very good. A lot of people are very good at that, promising about, I will see what I can do. Nonsense. Do things. Don't talk about seeing what I can do. Try and do it. That's the way it's supposed to be done. But you know, as both of you know, that's how things go.
Yes, I remember I was off the air. We were talking about one of the stalwart men of the times, a great mariner from your country. I know several of them. I'm acquainted with them, and I was fortunate when I first went out to sea. My bosses were two Brackers. One was Marvin Ryan, and one was Arden Reed. And I'll never forget the morning I joined the ship, bulk carrier, and got my coveralls, and went down to, I was a wiper. I started as a wiper and went down to the engine room to report. Marvin Ryan sent me down to report to Captain Reed, to Arlen Reed. And he gave me one of those 5-gallon paint buckets, those paint 5-gallon pans. And he says, I want you to go, kid. He says, I want you to go down to the engine room and I want you to speak to the third engineer, which was Arlen Reed. And he says, I want you to tell him to send me a bucket of steam. So I went down to the engine room, and I spoke. They showed me where the who was Arlen Reed was, and he said, "Just wait here, kid. As soon as I make my rounds, I will come back to you." I was sitting there watching all the gauges and stuff, and said, "Gee, I wonder what they all mean. How they can read all of this stuff that's going on down here." And about an hour and a half, he had me sitting there, and he came back and he said, "Well, son," he says, "he didn't tell you that he wanted full or half full, because I see you don't have any cover on it." So he sent me back up and said, "You go up here and tell the maintenance man," which was Marvin Ryan, whether he wanted the buckets full of steam or half full. And they had me going up and down all that morning until I got into the dining room for lunch. And they said, "Boy, McPhail, they had you." I say, "What do you mean?" They say, "Son, you can't carry steam in a bucket." He said, "The steam is what runs the engine is vaporous. You can't see it." And that's how that was my initiation to the sea. Of course, in those days I was very young, and I was very I wouldn't say wild, but I would defend myself at the drop of a hat. And so they knew that. And they says, "Oh, I hear you one of those bad kids from Georgetown." Yeah, so they said, "We'll wait until we get to the Persian Gulf to see. We're going to see how tough you are." And so, I had read all these books about Adlin and the Magic Carpet, Saudi Arabia and all. I was asking all this, "What's the Persian Gulf?" And they said, "Son, when you get there, you'll see." So, boy, I couldn't sleep at night. Get up in the morning and say, "What's this Persian Gulf? What's this Persian Gulf?" So we got to a place called Banda Peshawar in Saudi Arabia, and when we got there, they said all ventilation system must be closed down, portholes and most stock and everything closed down, and it was like 140 degrees, and all these Arab people with all the long dresses and long shirts and stuff like that says, and we had to sleep on the deck in cots, because it was so hot below. You couldn't sleep below. And Marvin Ryan came and said, "Well, son, what we're going to do is we're going to paint the boilers today." And anyone who knows, the boilers is the furnace that makes the steam for the engines. Hot. and he gave us this silver paint. And and to paint the boilers in the main, you had to sit on paddings on those huge pipes. And every time you touched the paintbrush on the side of the boiler, it would fry. And we had to eat salt tablets all day to keep the water in our system. And when I got through that, he says, "Son, you prove yourself, and you can come up in a large common room where we play the music, because every evening they got off work days to play guitars." And that was my initiation to the Brackers.
Okay, we have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning. I just heard your topic this morning about job opportunities for young Caymanians.
Yes, and particularly in the Brac, yes.
Yes, sorry for Cayman Brackers. I just had a comment. A few months ago, there was a position open at the Department of Agriculture in Cayman Brac. I'm not sure what the whole recruitment process was, but there was I guess a Filipino lady who's married to Caymanian applied for the job and got it. Now, while I don't have a problem with that, because Filipinos obviously come here for a better life, and if they're married to a Caymanian, that's an even bigger bonus. What the problem is that the Filipino who's married to a Caymanian who got the job has a nursing degree. I believe she's a registered nurse. It even said that in an article that I think the Department of Agriculture put out online or wherever it was. So what the problem is how come a clerical officer position or administrative assistant position cannot go to a school leaver? I would imagine that's some type of, basic entry. A school leaver could fill a position like that. So why then do they hire somebody who has a nursing degree? In a matter of months, you're going to have maybe 30, 40 Cayman Brac kids graduating from school.
And so a Caymanian would be told that they were overqualified if they had a nursing degree.
Absolutely. So, that's my comment today. If someone at the Agriculture Department in HR, or maybe someone in government, or maybe anyone else who's in HR is listening, maybe they can chime in and explain how the whole hiring process works. That's just my 2 cents for today.
Thank you very much, caller. For that as well. We're going to approaching our next commercial break, so we want to give Mr. Raymond Scott an opportunity for some closing comments. And in those closing comments, we know that you have acknowledged the fact that you yourself were not a seaman per se, but the mere fact that you weren't a seaman in no way disqualifies you or diminishes your ability in terms of the job that you do in communicating with vessels that are crossing the Cayman Islands, if you could include that in it.
Yes, Mr. O.C., referring to that as not being a seaman. Absolutely being a seaman, not on the long worldwide journeys, but I worked on Cayman Energy ship-to-ship transfer tankers, 120 ship-to-ship transfers I worked on. So I have a lot of experience on how crude oil transfers took place, wheat transfers I worked on, and even coconut oil transfers and vegetable oil were pumped from tanker to tanker with the ship-to-ship transfers. So I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience dealing with 120 ship-to-ship transfers. So that has to be considered as a seaman working on that number of ships.
Okay, and any final words you want to give to your Braca community?
Good morning again to all Cayman Bracas listening to me up there, and wishing you all the very best. I'm down here and hope to see you all soon again. Thanks a lot, and Mr. Connor, greatly appreciate the time in here with you this morning. And also Dr. Mike Field, was my pleasure to be in the presence of two stalwart in the talk show.
Before you go, I just want to ask this other question. I just saw it coming in. This person wants to know whether or not if you ever interacted with Mr. Frank Scotland during the years that you have been communicating with ships, Mr. Frank Scotland, here in Grand Cayman.
There was a Scotland that had phoned me up. That was about 2 years ago.
No. He would have been Mr. Scotland. He would have passed on before then. He
probably would be the father of the person who called you.
Owen Scotland.
Yes.
And Mark Scotland's grandfather as well. But he was well qualified. He worked for Public Works Department, I believe, at some point in time for government. But he was a radio operator, as well, here in Grand Cayman, highly involved in. As a matter of fact, I think he was probably one of the first persons to have television in the Cayman Islands.
Yes.
As well, because he was into that field. But that would have been This would have been in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Mr. Frank Scotland. He had a son, Owen Scotland, who worked with Cable and Wireless, and then he has another son who was in the shipping industry, who for a while worked, I believe, with Thompson Shipping, as well. You're not aware of him.
I know Mr. Scotland that worked with Thompson Shipping, yes. He's a good friend of mine. He has
would
a
have
house.
been his father.
Yes.
His father.
Okay, his father.
Yeah.
No, I did not know him. That was before my time.
Okay. And the person says that he communicated with ships as well. He was one of the first ham radio operators in the Cayman Islands, so he operated a ham radio.
Yes, sir. And my communications are via VHF. 45 years of communicating via VHFs. And I have been contacted by the U.S. Coast Guard on several locations to seek assistance for vessels around. And I was the first one that called in a U.S. Coast Guard to rescue 6 Hondurans that were drifting in a boat. Hondurans from Rotan. And the Coast Guard, this is quite interesting. I have a minute to explain this, or
what we're going to do is we're going to take a commercial break. We'll come back and we're going to stretch you out until 9 o'clock rather than that. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much.
So we're going to take this commercial break, folks. Mr. Raymond Scott is going to be with us for another 15 minutes or so. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
What exactly are the steps in the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey? Step 1 is a questionnaire where you'll be asked about your health behaviors and lifestyle choices. Step 2 involves home measurements like height, weight, and blood pressure. Lastly, Step 3 is a finger prick blood sample for cholesterol and glucose. STEPS 2023 starts on June 3rd. Learn more by logging on to www.gov.ky/steps.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
West Bay Pharmacy. Personalized medicine, customized care to meet your specific needs. Your body is unique to you. Your medicine should be too. Whether you're seeking individual-specific medication, correct size dosages, or simply better tasting medicine, ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about how compounding at West Bay Pharmacy can increase your treatment options, not only for your family, but for your pets too. West Bay Pharmacy, open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays and most holidays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve Macfield, and our special guest for this segment this morning, Mr. Raymond Scott, all the way from Cayman Brac. So, Mr. Scott, we wanted you to be able to complete the story that you were telling us before we went to the commercial break about the U.S. Coast Guard and the 7 souls that you saved.
Yes, sir. That was a rescue operation that I had conducted involving the U.S. Coast Guard. It was about 9 p.m. in the night. I heard the U.S. Coast Guard Freedom call into the Nordic Thunder, which was a super tanker loaded with crude oil going to India from United States. He asked the captain or the mate on the Nordic Thunder if you have any gasoline on board. The mate replied, the Indian mate says, sorry, we don't have gasoline. We only have crude oil headed to India. And the captain or the commander of the Coast Guard says, thank you very much. And they went back from channel 12 to channel 16. So I then knew it was a boat in distress. So I called to the U.S. Coast Guard Ship and Traffic Advisor, Cayman Brac Station, and told him to go to channel 11. Went to channel 11, and I said, good evening, Captain. What is the nature of the distress? Said, we have found the boat with 6 persons on board without gasoline, and they have been drifting for days. But we cannot remain at the scene to assist them because we are on a mission. And my response was, Captain, this island does not have any sizable craft to come to a 40-mile distance off the Cayman Islands tonight, and the sea is rough. You are already on the scene of the distress vessel, and I need you to take the distress vessel in tow and tow it to Cayman Brac, and I will have a boat to meet you. And I altered the decision from the U.S. Coast Guard commander that he said, I am on a mission, I got to get going. Well, I changed that decision because 6 lives from Rotan was at risk out there.
So when you say you changed the decision, how were you able to override a decision of the Coast Guard? What authorized you to be able to do that?
It just happened because my comments was that you are on the scene, and he quickly realized that I'm on the scene, and if I leave those 6 people out there, and
he
their
would be
lives
abandoned.
are lost,
he would be abandoning
what
them.
the consequences would be. The maritime law states that whatever possible can be done to assist anyone on the high seas, you must do it. So he remembered that quickly with the statement I threw back at him, that you are on the scene and you need to take them in tow.
Yeah. Okay. We have one other caller that we want to grab before you go, Mr. Scott. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, my dear?
Love the discussion.
Yes.
Mr. Raymond, enjoy your shipping story. I heard you on Sunday, and I mean, I listen to you all the time. Whenever you're on the radio and, announcing that boats are passing the Cayman or they're going to blow their horn in memory of someone. And I think that you're doing such a fantastic job. I think that the powers to be should really recognize you and give you a salaried job to do what you're doing. And I remember one time I was coming from the airport and I heard you on the radio, and you said there is the world's largest tanker passing Cayman, and it would be somewhere passing Georgetown over South Sound Way. And I continued to drive, and I went over by the South Sound Community Center, and I took a photo of that vessel, and I mean, it was so large, and I actually sent it to the newspaper, and it was on the front page. And those kinds of things are memories you would never forget, and my dad passed away at 97, and he was a seaman for 50 years, and he told so many stories of his sea life and traveling all over the world on these ships. And I think our seamen need all the recognition that they can get, because they did put Cayman on the map, and they started our financial services here in Cayman by sending home their allotment. So I just want to say this morning that I'm thankful for you and the job that you're doing. I hope that you're recognized for doing your job.
Caller?
Yes?
I was reading somewhere, I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, somewhere that one of the largest condominium complex or shopping complex, whatever it is, on the 7 Mile Beach is being built by some millionaires. And I was reading where the concessions that they had was left on the, I think were left or hadn't been used, was something like $10.5 million. The concession that they had been used yet. That, in other words, these people are billionaires and millionaires, and we gave them all of these concessions not to pay duty on all of this stuff, that the money that we would have otherwise to use in our country to better our people, give our people a better standard of life, but we give it to them who already has a better standard of life than everybody else. And don't you think that is sort of unfair, that Mr. Scott has been providing this service, but because he does not have a dollar in his pocket to be able to look after himself while providing that service, that which one you think, if you apply equity between them, which one you think is deserving most of the concessions, the millionaire or Mr. Scott, who's providing the service local and internationally?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I heard it. Caller, we're hearing your radio in the background.
I think Mr. Scott deserves to get a paid salary or any kind of concessions, because he is doing a job that nobody else is doing. Okay. So he stands out on his own.
Okay.
Yes,
Caller,
I agree.
Thank you very much for that. So, Mr. Scott, again, thank you very much, for being here, and we look forward to talking with you more on the radio. You normally call in, and we hope and trust that you will continue to do that as well. So we're going to headline news. Folks, I'm going to urge you, some of you already know your Bible, some may not. We had one caller who called in about a situation in Cayman Brac about a particular job. Please get your Bibles out or Google Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 43 to 53. I saw this comment on one of our newspaper websites, and the person who was commented on there spoke that people should read Deuteronomy 28. So I followed it up to see what it was all about. And I said to myself, how will I be able to use this in my conversation and people not think that I'm being biased? So if you get a chance, read it, because when I return at 9 o'clock, I'm going to read it for you, and let's see how does that gel with our Christian upbringing and our Christian heritage, and whether or not we are actually following the Bible the way that we should. Because if we did, then we should be following this particular verse. So folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after headline news.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
Premier the Honourable Wayne Panton expressed gratitude to the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service following the arrests of suspects believed to have been involved in a spate of crimes in recent weeks. In an online statement, the Premier recognized police for their, quote, swift and tireless efforts to increase patrols and targeted operations, which led to the successful capture of 8 men. The Premier also urged the community to continue its open and honest dialogue with police. In international headlines, floodwaters receded in Vermont cities and towns, pummeled by a storm that delivered 2 months of rain in 2 days, enabling officials to focus on recovering from a disaster that trapped residents in homes, closed roadways, and choked streets and businesses with mud and debris. Governor Phil Scott planned to tour areas impacted by flooding with FEMA officials a day after U.S. President Joe Biden declared an emergency for Vermont and authorized federal disaster relief assistance. China calls a Microsoft report that a China-based hacking group breached government-linked email accounts disinformation, saying today the accusation was meant to divert from U.S. cyber activities. In a blog post published today, Microsoft said the group, which it identified as Storm 0558, gained access to email accounts linked to 25 organizations, including Western European government agencies. The breach was detected weeks later when customers complained to Microsoft about abnormal mail activity. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
For the latest in news and information,
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
The headline news are brought to you by Health Services Authority.
It's one of the best moments of your life when you welcome your baby into the world. The HSA's experienced women's health and maternity team provides the highest quality of care throughout your pregnancy and delivery. As a JCI accredited hospital, we are the leader in maternal care, safely delivering over 700 babies annually. Visit hsa.ky for more information. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I want to thank Mr. Raymond Scott. That was an excellent conversation, with him. I was having a little bit back and forth with one person on WhatsApp. I don't know who it is, and I don't think it's important for me to know, who it is, as well. But and it has to do with, Mr. Scott and whether or not he was a seaman. And I don't believe that at any point in time that he makes a claim to be a seafarer. He talked about the ship-to-ship, transfers, and if he worked on that, on those in the Brac, that's a different story. But anyway, so Doc, Deuteronomy 28 verse 43, and the verses go from 43 to 53. We know that the preamble to our Constitution, Cayman Islands Constitution,
That's right.
Report of 2009, talks about our Christian heritage and everything else, right? So we would hope and we trust that we follow our Christian heritage, we follow the teachings of the Bible, we learn from the teachings, and we heed the warnings of the Bible as well. We know that the 10 Commandments, we have those, and people try to adhere to them, or as many of them as they possibly can. So here is what Deuteronomy says. It says, foreigners who live in your land will gain more and more power while you gradually lose yours. They will have money to lend you, but you will have none to lend them. In the end, they will be your rulers. I just wanted to share that with our people here in the Cayman Islands. Now, some people may consider that to be anti-foreign, anti-expat. Well, if you're going to say that, then that's what the Bible has said. That's coming from the Bible, folks. I'm reading
That's
you.
not from
I'm
us.
telling you, not from us. I'm telling you what Deuteronomy,
Yes, right.
Says. Any thoughts on that, Doc?
Yes, that's more relation. And when you look at that, when you apply Deuteronomy to the Constitution of the Cayman Islands, the preamble, it says, a God-fearing country based on traditional Christian values, tolerant of other religions and beliefs. And it says, a country with open, responsible, and accountable government that includes a working partnership with the private sector and containing beneficial ties with the United Kingdom. And then it goes on to say, a country with an educational system that identifies and develops of a continuing basis the abilities of each person, allowing them to reach their full potential and productivity, and a community that encourages and prepares young people to assume leadership roles, and a country that provides a comprehensive healthcare system, and this is the one that I also like to talk about, a community protective of traditional Caymanian heritage and the Caymanian unit. And then a country with a vibrant, diversified economy which provides full employment, and a country that makes optimal use of modern technology. So here are all the things that Deuteronomy and our constitutions guides us to do, to adhere to protect our culture, our history, our heritage, and yet we are pawns to other people from other places, and they can come and they can get all the concessions, and they can get this and they can get that to build their mansions, not mansions, but their business where they're going to make more millions and millions and billions and millions. In our country, our people can't even get a little stipend while he providing a service to the country and internationally because they do not have that dollar in their pocket. Is that Christian? Is that Christian? Is that Christian, Orrett? Huh? Is that Christian?
Yep. And we know also that the Bible talks about taking in strangers, as well. And we have done that on more than one occasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, Doc, there's a story, and I want to commend the premier on this. I'm going to read this and then ask for your feedback on it. I think it's a step forward. It has to do with the ministry, Premier's ministry, launching a new energy efficient retrofit program in partnership with Resilience Cayman. And it says that the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency is launching a new program to provide energy efficiency retrofits for eligible Caymanian homeowners struggling with high utility bills. And we know how high those utility bills. When I get the email from CUC, I don't even open it. I take it and forward it to Grace. I don't even bother opening it up. It says Cayman Home Energy Efficiency Retrofits, known as CHEER, CHEER, program will implement energy-saving retrofits for lower-income families in small homes facing high monthly utility bills. Priority consideration will be given to the elderly, families with children, and persons with diagnosed health conditions. The ministry has contracted local nonprofit organization Resilience Cayman to deliver the program. Premier and Minister for Sustainability and Climate Resiliency, Honorable Wayne Panton, said the new program is the latest in a series of initiatives designed to help advance the twin goals of the implementation of the national energy policy and helping to lower the cost of living for Caymanians. Saving energy saves money. These retrofits will help lower the cost of living for people in our community who are struggling with the high cost of electricity, he's quoted as saying. He noted that strategy 3.3.9 of the National Energy Policy specifically speaks to energy efficiency retrofits for existing buildings. The new CHEER program is one of several programs the PAC government has launched since 2021 to address the escalating cost of living crisis and rising energy costs. Last year, we launched the Electricity Assistance Program to offer direct subsidies to residential customers with monthly consumption between 101 and 2,000 kilowatt hours, an initiative which benefited more than 22,000 households across the Cayman Islands. We also waived the import duty on energy-efficient devices and building materials, and the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency achieved 2 grants from RESEMBID, the Resilience, Sustainable Energy and Marine Biodiversity Program, to improve energy efficiency in the public sector, in public sector buildings and government-built affordable homes. Under the CHEER program, approved homes will undergo an energy audit conducted by a trained energy professional prior to receiving tailored energy-saving upgrades such as insulation, upgraded air conditioning, sealing the building envelope, LED lighting, Energy Star rated appliance upgrades, or smart thermostats. Resiliency Cayman Chairperson Jan Gupta is quoted as saying the program is very timely and welcomed by many families in Cayman who are struggling to keep up with their energy bills, especially as we enter the hottest months. It will also provide us with an opportunity to assist many homeowners to retrofit their homes towards a more sustainable energy future. Now, here are the eligibility requirements. To be eligible for the program, applicants should satisfy the following criteria. First of all, you have to be Caymanian. You have to own your own home and you have to be living in it. Your total household income has to be $4,000 per month or less. Your home can't be any more than 2,500 square feet gross floor space, and your monthly energy consumption is 2,000 kilowatt hours or more. And then it goes on to say, Premier Panton said the CHEER program is a prime example of how sustainability measures that balance society, environment, and economy can improve the quality of life for Caymanian. This summer's record heat demonstrates that the energy crisis, the cost of living crisis, and the climate crisis are all interlinked. He explained programs like this one that support our people, our economy, and our environment help make the Cayman Islands more sustainable, benefiting current and future generations. In this initial phase of the project, the ministry has allocated $500,000 towards energy efficient retrofits. This funding has been utilized. Once this funding has been utilized, the ministry will evaluate the program implementation and consider opportunities for extending the initiative subject to the approval of additional funding. Applications open on the 11th of July, that would have been yesterday, and the deadline to apply is the 31st of August 2023. And it tells you how to access the program and everything. I would just say this before we go to a commercial break, and we do have a caller, that Resilience Cayman, who will be administering this program, that they are not as, what should I say, technical, or we know what happened after Hurricane Ivan. We know that the government had their program for getting people back into their homes, and then there was a program that was chaired by the governor that was private sector funded as well. And we know that there was a difference, but chalk and cheese between the way the two programs were administered. One, the government program, we were looking at practicality, getting people dried into their homes so they could at least occupy them, while we saw the other program taking a long time to get on board, being top heavy as far as administration was concerned, and at the same time making it extremely difficult, for people to be able to get the funding as well. We have to go to a commercial break. We have two callers on hold as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Are you ready for a midsummer miracle? Get ready for the Christmas in July sale at Tortuga and discount retail stores. All July, Tortuga is bringing exclusive Red Dot deals in store. Discover incredible savings on selected items that will make your summer merrier. But hurry, the Red Dot deal is available while stock lasts during regular store trading hours. Don't miss the once in a summertime offer to save on your favorite beverages and more with Christmas in July. Visit a Tortuga and discount retail stores near you.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve Macfield. We have two callers. Let's grab the first caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to Dr. Steve also.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, when it comes to the gun range by the airport, I would recommend that the government consider moving that in another area. And then I would plan on extending the airport strip also. And I don't think it's the right area, especially for our visitors, our tourists arriving and leaving the airport. And I think it's starting to become a place where it's going to be not safe for a gun range. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the gun range has already moved from there a long time ago. I think it's someplace in the eastern part of the island now.
I believe so, yes.
That's what I believe. I might be mistaken, but caller, I think that's where it is now.
I believe you're absolutely right. I'll try to see if I can what I can find out before the show is over. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and good morning, Dr. Maxfield. And
good morning,
Good morning, good morning. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Minister. Happy birthday to you.
Man, I'm a lucky guy. If I got you two singing for me, I'm in good standing.
I can tell you.
We're going to both lose the job after this.
And I can tell you one thing, Minister. We're not going to get any Oscars.
I want to say thank you so much. I much appreciate that. And I'm not sure if Mr. Scott is still there, but I just
no,
want to say good morning to him. With that being said, the reason for me to call in on my birthday, because I am not working today at all, but I just want to take this opportunity, because you're not on the radio tomorrow morning, to remind the public, particularly those in the Georgetown area, and mind that I did not say only Georgetown Central, but the whole of Georgetown, that myself and the Honorable Sabrina Turner are holding a public meeting opportunity for the police and the heads of the police department to come and speak to the community about the current crime situation. I know that our Honorable Premier had a press release, and we talked about the fact that we met with the Commissioner and talked about what initiatives that are happening. But this meeting that will be held tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the Constitutional Hall, better known to most people as the Georgetown Town Hall, will give members of the community opportunities to ask questions, raise their concerns, tell the police what they believe needs to be done or what they like to see happen. So it's really a facilitating process for the public, and I want to encourage all people from the Georgetown area to come and speak. I must say that there has been an increase in crime that people are not happy about, and this is the opportunity to speak to those responsible for controlling the crime situation, so to speak to you and tell you what's going on. We are going to be trying to get it broadcast on air. I'm working on that today on my birthday, unfortunately, but we want to make sure that everybody can hear it. And I also want to say that it's not limited to Georgetown, but as a representative in the district of Georgetown, myself and the Honorable Sabrina Turner thought it would be appropriate that we addressed our district.
And you did point out, I think, that you were going to be inviting the members of the opposition as well?
Yes. Interestingly enough, when I spoke on the radio the other day, and I said that I would invite them, I got a message from I can't remember who I recalled, but the message was somewhat to the liking of, it's too late now, and they have already made their own appointments with the commissioner, basically sounding like they're not willing to come. That's quite sad. I'm going to call the opposition leader directly after I get off the radio, just to make sure I can confirm that. Again, this is not political. This is about policing matters that we're all affected by. And I encourage them. I've encouraged my other colleagues to come along tomorrow night as well. We want to see this as a national meeting, but it's held in Georgetown because, unfortunately, a large percentage of the crime has been happening in the Georgetown area. So with that being said, I want to encourage everybody again, please just take the opportunity to come and hear from the police, and because sometimes we voice our opinions, but we got to give them an opportunity to respond back. And if you're not satisfied with what you're hearing, then we can hear it from you directly there and speak more closely behind closed doors with the governor in respect to what the people want to see from the police department in respect to these things. So I encourage you, please come out. It's not a political meeting. Doesn't matter what side you're on. Your chance to hear from the police in respect to what we're dealing with in respect to crime. So I encourage everybody to come out 7 p.m. tomorrow at the Constitutional Hall, better known as the Georgetown Town Hall. That'll be Thursday the 13th, tomorrow. So I'll leave you there because I know you got a lot more important things to talk about. I appreciate the birthday wishes. God bless you both, gentlemen.
Mr. Minister, before you go.
Yes, sir.
Before you go, I always get the same response when I say that the minister should push the envelope on certain things, and especially when it comes to crime. And they all keep telling me, oh, well, that's the governor's remit. That has been the government's remit ever since the 59 Constitution was written. But between 1976 and 1984, when we had the unity government, the unity team government in place, and when the drugs start to come in the 70s and 80s, and it start to become a menace to our society, we had people in the Legislative Assembly then who did something about it. Because just like then, as it is now, we are carrying on a subline struggle in our country. And I keep saying, for what good is one's country if one cannot live successfully and peacefully and securely in it? What good is the country? Well, what they did then is that they started something called Help Society, and it didn't mean to go on helping people. I don't know the phenomenon for it, but it was, we call it Help Society, and they brought in undercover people who had police skills, and policemen from other jurisdictions department brought them undercover, and they asked them to help them to ascertain and to identify the people who were bringing the drugs in and who was controlling the drug trade then. The people came in and they did an excellent work. I was part of that struggle, that unity team struggle then. And when the unity team broke up, I had to find other people which I could deliver some service to them that was for my country. And I had a tape that the undercover policeman made. They went undercover in each and every district in this community, Cayman Islands, and they made a report. And I had copies of the tape. I don't have them now. I destroyed them after Mr. Jim Borden died, because some of them were very revealing, and the people that we never believed were involved were some of the people that, as my grandmother said, butter couldn't melt in their mouth. And they quickly cleaned that up. And those who were from a different jurisdiction that were not Caymanians, they got rid of them. And if you do not believe me, you can go and look at the gazettes between that time, and you'll see how many people were made prohibited people from here and put on the stop list, what they call a stop list, the immigration stop list. We did that. That was then, when we were collecting millions and millions and millions of dollars and giving the police $50 to $60 million a year. If we did that then, why is it that we cannot do that now? That's what your government has to do. You have to push the envelope and take the bull by the horn, and you have to go out there and you have to bring in people that will work with you and work for you and will tell you the truth and will give you this, because we are fed up and we are not getting the kind of results that we need. We don't feel secure in our own country. And I keep asking you again, for what good is one's country if one cannot live successfully, peacefully, and securely in it? What good is it to us? I'll leave you with that. Minister.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Bradfield. I accept all of your comments and your suggestions, and I agree with you. I would leave you with this. The UK has just gone through a transition of leaders in the last 4 years. There's Theresa May, Boris Johnson, and now we have a different one. I've forgotten his name now off the top of my head, but what you'll find is that you have a different approach to different things with different leaders. I respect my leader, the Honorable Premier Wayne Panton, and the approach to how he wants to interact with the governor under the section of the Constitution of her responsibilities for policing would be different than how I would react. I think I would be more assertive like yourself. I'm not even on the National Security Council. Myself and many other ministers have expressed a more assertive approach. But again, that matter is with the leader of the country and the governor due to our constitutional construct. But that's why I'm facilitating this meeting. This meeting was done by myself, and I invited my honorable colleague, Sabrina, because I wanted to make sure this was not just a constituency matter thing. But I agree with you. I think that the island is small enough and still able to do a more secret move or investigation to what's going on, because it's not like we don't know. And some of those initiatives, I can't tell you if they're happening because I'm not privy to that circle. I'm not on the National Security Council. I would love to have been on there. I thought I would have brought a lot of knowledge to the assessment of what's happening in our community, but I wasn't privy to that. But ultimately, we still have to face it, and my job as a member of government, member of parliament, member of cabinet is to get my people the opportunity to hear from the police and what they're doing. And once I hear the responses from my people, I will hold my premier and the police department accountable as much as I can in respect to what they can do, as well as hold ourselves accountable as to what are we doing with the police and for the police, and what are we doing to create an environment that doesn't breed or allow for criminality to happen. So we all have a part to play. I want to make sure I'm doing my part. But I agree with your sentiments, and I thank you so much for them. And again, I wish you both gentlemen a wonderful day.
And let me tell you, Mr. Minister, we elected you guys. We men, our men, and we respect you, and we respect your office, and we respect your titles, and we expect you to stand strong to defend us, our rights, and that we deserve in our own country. And if you have to push the envelope, you push the envelope, because that's what we need. We cannot just leave it to other people to do too. And sometimes you have to be assertive in our own island. That's what our Constitution says, that we have to be assertive we have control of the country, and that's what we have to let people understand. We don't even have control of the highway. It's even hazardous to go driving on a highway. I mean, this is what we have come to.
Okay.
Well, I do thank you for that support, for being assertive if necessary, and I want you to just keep an eye on this space, as it's important that we keep control of it. And I thank you for your comments, okay?
Thank you very much, Minister. We have 2 callers on hold. We have to go to a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what, though, no more dreaming. This summer, I go in flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Are you ready for a midsummer miracle? Get ready for the Christmas in July sale at Tortuga and discount retail stores. All July, Tortuga is bringing exclusive Red Dot deals in store. Discover incredible savings on selected items that will make your summer merrier. But hurry, the Red Dot deal is available while stock lasts during regular store trading hours. Don't miss the once in a summertime offer to save on your favorite beverages and more with Christmas in July. Visit a Tortuga and discount retail stores near you.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy to understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to the phone lines. Just before I go there, Doc, I found an article in relation to the question that comment that the person had about the firing range.
Yes.
I see an article in March of this year talking about the fact that the gun club plans to build a shooting range on mangrove wetland. DOE says the critical ecosystem should be retained. I think that's a Compass article. So it based on this article, it would appear that they have not yet moved that, because this was in March of 2023. But they had, I believe, gotten permission to use Crown land in that area. And I think they may have earmarked something like about $500,000 to set up the range in that area. Let's grab the callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Jose.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just, good morning to your sidekick there, Dr. Spears.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
One can't be without the other one.
You're joined by the hip.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, joined by the hip. We got a full work system on it. Just want to tell my nephew there happy birthday. And good morning to him. The topic there with Mr. Scott. I mean, I support him 100% in anything he do, because the people don't realize that he been doing this from down the late 80s into the night. From then he been doing this. This is not something he just started, and people don't really realize about it and how long he been into that. But to get away from that part, I just want to mention regarding the situation that we have with our policing. We are a British territory. And I don't understand, and I've been asking young men why they don't want to join the police. And they say because they have too much Jamaican nationals, whether they're Jamaicans or they're Eastern Caribbean, they don't know different. They're just saying Jamaican nationals. But Jamaica is not a British territory, and our government is recruiting Jamaican police or Eastern Caribbean nationals or Jamaican nationals into our police system. We one time had English police, a lot of them, especially here in Cayman Brac, and there's no more. When you have a lot of crimes here on the Brac that these foreign nationals are committing, the Jamaican nationals or the Eastern Caribbean nationals, wherever, Barbados, wherever they're from, they do not want to go and proceed with what is happening in crime because of their own kind. They doesn't want to take care of the situation. These kind of things is what evolves around this country, and no one wants to stand up and admit the reason why. we do not have Caymanians in the service, that is the reason why. And it creates a problem, and it will always be a problem, like what Dr. Steve was saying. Years ago, I remember down in the 80s, when they formed that we used to call them CIDs. We didn't know what it was coming here on the Brac, but we would call them CIDs, these special forces coming in with the drugs, because Cayman Brac back in them days was known for heroin, cocaine, and angel dust. At that time, down in the 80s and the 90s, the 70s and the 80s was known for angel dust, was what was blowing around here. And it is still committing the crimes. They're still causing the crimes. But now it's exceeding because of the problem or not being taken care of, because they don't want to deal with their own kind in these cases. And why I say that is, let me give you an example. When a Caymanian commit a crime, the newspaper, the news bulletin on the radios will say a Caymanian. When a foreign national commits a crime in the Cayman Islands, they would not disclose their name or their nature or their color or their height or nothing. But the Caymanian, they're going to say this Caymanian did this crime and that crime and now serving time in Northwood. Our system reflects around the foreigners that come into this country. It's not to protect the Caymanian, it's to protect the foreigners that come into these three little islands. And that is what grazes me so bad. It just gives me grit in my teeth to know that the system that our governments had formed from the 80s, the 90s, into the 2000s, they had, since the older ones had dropped out and these newer ones came in, they have changed the system so drastically against crime. The crime right now, they're talking about Cayman Brac. So you remember some years ago, some months ago, when people could say, Cayman Brac, you could live with your door and your windows open while you sleep? I would advise anyone that do that today, they better start locking up, because it ain't no more. And it's sad, because when it comes to this point, if the government don't realize that they need to stop bringing in these type of police men in this country and bring in other countries into this system, it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. And it's sad because a lot of people are realizing it. And I don't know why it took them so long to realize it. And, before I go, I remember some weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, when I came on the radio and spoke that same chapter that you read from that Bible regarding Deuteronomy. And this is what I said. When the government allow these foreign nationals to come in the country by PR, give them the right to live here, give them a right to buy land, build house, own nice cars and drive around, they're going to demand that they are eligible to vote. That is when the old people talk about that stuff hit the fan. It's not going to be good for us no more. Like what the old woman had said up in Spot Bay one time, she said, too late to cry. And this is what's going to happen in this country. When our government give them too much leverage, they're going to take advantage of us. That same chapter out of the Bible. I said it before. That is that same chapter that you read this morning to the Cayman Islands.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. We're going to grab one more caller before we go to the break. And then, Ms. Susan, we're going to close the phone lines off after that as well. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC and Dr. Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Samamba.
Fine. Well, it looks like I'm my last caller, but I was planning to only speak for 2 minutes anyway, if you let me speak for 2 minutes. This is a call to promote understanding at more than one level. And so I won't mention a name, I won't mention an event, but just talk some ideas in 2 minutes. First of all, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I get to be able to call to this show as well as the other show. And sometimes, like other people, sometimes I'll call about something personal. But I'm quite sure, like other people, a lot of us only call when other things fail, and then we call as a last resort. That's the first point. Secondly, I'm very grateful to the somebody who sent in a message on one of the last two shows to you, and he read out something. He sent something you read which said there's a difference between administration of justice and administering justice. I'm very grateful to that person because he was right on point. A simpler way to express that, which both of you will understand, is that within the judiciary, there are two types of functions. One is a judicial function, which is the adjudicatory function, and then you've got the administrative function. Now, in relation to the administrative function, that's where checks and balances come in. People always talk about separation of powers, but they forget that there is a twin concept of checks and balances. What that means in terms of this topic is that it means that Parliament and the executive can ask certain things of the judiciary so long as those relate to administrative functions. Now, what are the examples? They can ask about expenditure in the judiciary. They can ask about the policies used to grant legal aid. They can ask, for example, if they think cases are taking long, they can say, what is the problem here? Can we help? They can ask about what is the complaint procedure? How do you handle these complaints? What are the details of it? Those things they can ask. Why? Because they are the administrative side of those functions, and therefore there are things which politicians get involved in. Because the guideline here is from the Constitution. The Constitution says that you can exercise your freedom of speech so long as it does not impede the authority and the independence of the judiciary. And if you do any of those things that I've asked for, which usually actually are in the report of the judiciary, which is sent to Parliament, that is perfectly fine. Also, public discussion, I think, also promotes accountability. That's why even in courts, you are allowed, there's the concept of open court for people to go and listen to cases. But in closing, let me close on this. Often, justice for the public grows out of an individual injustice that has gone public. And mortgage cases in Zambia, mortgage cases in Cayman are an example in that. I would just urge a certain section of the Cayman Islands to know who is on your team. You have expressed, for example, Dr. Steve, the last caller, and Minister Brian, certain concerns. You should understand, certain people, I think, need to understand that even if there are certain people in government who might be married even to Caymanians, they are not on your team. Identify who is on your team, and then maybe those people can help you to meet your ends. And that's my thought for the day.
Thank you very much, Billy, for that. We have to go to a commercial break. We still have one caller left after we return, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Health behaviours and lifestyle choices such as diet and smoking can be risk factors for non-communicable diseases. The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey will allow the Ministry of Health and Wellness to gather important data on the health of the nation, including these risk factors. This information will inform our plans for the health needs of Cayman's residents, allowing us to better serve our population. Learn more by logging on to www.gov.ky/steps.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Please ensure that food preparation utensils are washed with a strong detergent and rinsed in hot water in the event that they have made contact with flood water. Boil silverware for 10 minutes and immerse glass, porcelain, china, and plastic items in a solution of hot water and 10% chlorine bleach before use.
For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit DAH website at www.gov.ky/DAH.
Can you tell me, what does a turtle do on his birthday? He celebrates.
Celebrate your loved one's special birthday with a birthday shoutout live on For the Record with Mr. Orrett Connor, only on Radio Cayman. WhatsApp your loved one's name to 925-3261. That's 925-3261. Radio Cayman's birthday shoutouts live on For the Record with Mr. Orrett Connor every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture. Tap into your roots. More Than Words, second floor, Thompson Building.
Sponsored by Pizza Boat. Now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery. Call 949,000 or order online at www.pizzaboat.ky.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 10 minutes left in the show and we still have one caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Connor, and hi, Minister Bryan and Minister Seymour.
Minister Bryan, nor Minister Seymour on. Just Dr. McPhail and myself.
Okay. Well, I'm getting a delayed feedback here on YouTube. I was going to speak on the stamp duty concessions that they were discussing earlier, and asking for government to consider stamp duties for homeowners that may be a second-time homeowner. I know when now MP Chris Saunders was Minister for Finance. He was I guess indirectly looking at individual stamp duty requests on a individual basis, and I did make a submission that government could bear in mind when they're reviewing the stamp duty process to consider resident Caymanians that could potentially be homeowners for the second time or maybe third time within a certain amount of years. So, for instance, if someone was a first-time homeowner and may have lost their house or may have sold it and they wanted to become a homeowner after, say, 5 years, that it would be considered as starting over, and that concession could then still be applied if the person wanted to become a homeowner, a second or maybe up to a third time. Within, of course, a certain
period of time.
Yes, a certain price bracket also. So, for instance, if the homes were over 500,000, which is above what I call working class cost for a house, that wouldn't be a criteria to consider for an approval. But for working class or what I call minimum wage Caymanians or lower wage Caymanians. There's another terminology I can't remember right now, but that was a submission I wanted to put forward to the members while they were on the panel. But it's like I said, I was having a delayed feedback on YouTube here, but I'm sure they'll hear what I've said.
I'm sure, certainly, and I want to thank you for that, because that's a question that many individuals, have as well. And they're looking for a little bit more flexibility in terms of that stamp duty waiver.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thanks very much, Mr. McPhail.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller, as well. So one of our listeners has said, when we look at what happened in the BVI last year with the arrest of their premier on drug charges, we need to ask the question, how interested in policing the OTs is the United Kingdom? We are responsible for ourselves.
That's right. And I have always said a long time ago, one of the reasons why I got involved in the cadets and the cadet corps when we set that up with Governor Smith and Roy Borden, Mr. Roy Borden, President Roy Borden. One of the reasons why I got involved in that was because I wanted it to be, and Cork Nixon too, the late Cork Nixon, we wanted to be a training ground for young Caymanians, men and women. We saw it as a place where, similar to what the civil servants have now. Isn't there something, Mr. For the record, that's called the Civil Service Academy, where they train civil servants? Isn't that part of the university?
UCCI, yeah.
UCCI?
Yes.
That's what we wanted to be, a part of that, where you could have training academy for young people to join the branches, the uniform branches of government. We even started a curriculum that included policing, where people would go to the police station and work at the police station to learn how to write the diary. When the police go out for traffic cases, they would learn how to take measurements. They would learn how to investigate traffic cases, so that they could eventually become cadets at the police station. Become cadets. There's no reasons why we haven't done that. If we had put something in that long time ago, we would have had an academy for young men to join the police force, to join the customs, to join the prison, to join the marshals in the court system. We would have all of that done. But you see, that's not our priority. Our priority is who has the money, the dollar in the pocket. Because there's an old saying that falseness lasts for an hour, but the truth lasts for the end of time. And that is what has happened to us. We always does this falseness to our people and pretend this to our people that only lasts for an hour, and we are not interested in the truth that lasts for the end of time. And that's our problem. And one of the things that, the stuff that you showed me today about the Premier, I commend the Premier for what he's doing about the energy, the high cost of energy. But what we actually need, Mr. For the record, we need the government to invest in alternative energy. And we need, if we have to break agreement with CUC, then we should do it.
But that's coming up for renewal fairly soon now.
You see? And what we need is to give people the right to have alternative energy. Yes, yeah. Government has a lot of money. They can fund it through the Cayman Development Bank. The government should bring in hundreds of thousands of solar systems that people can buy them at a cheaper rate than what some of the people quote you for the put solar panel in your house now. Because when some of them quote you this, it will take you like 15 years to get back your money. So what they need is to do that and to give people alternative in a source of energy other than CUC, and so that every house in Cayman ought to have panels on it and solar system on it. So how can my bill go from $377 to $900?
Triple,
huh?
yeah.
How can it go triple? And I'm burn the same amount of coverage that I was born in before. I didn't add on any places any more units in my house.
I want to share this with you before we close off, Doc. This person says that they agree with you on the response that you and comment that you made, and they say no excuse about the governor being responsible for national security removes the government from also bearing some responsibility for the security of our constituents and residents. The government and the opposition must use whatever means of persuasion available to influence positive results regarding security for all who live on our islands, including increasing resources to law enforcement if needed as well. Also, one listener wrote and wanted to know whether or not this new program that I want to tell you what the acronyms chair, CHERR, wants to know whether or not the CUC core program eligible, those persons people who are on the CUC core program, whether or not they're eligible for this retrofit program, I would advise you that you can visit the website. You can go on to www.resilience.ky//energy, or you can also visit www.energy.gov.ky and through the National Energy Policy Facebook and Instagram pages. I will send those websites to you on WhatsApp from our WhatsApp phone here as well. And just to cover one more before I give Dr. Macfield 30 seconds for some closing comments. One of our listeners, when I quoted Deuteronomy 43, they said that you should read verse 15 that tells you what the cause of it as well, what has created the foreigner taken over. And Deuteronomy 15 says, "But it shall come to pass, if you do not obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you."
Great. I adopt that as my closing remark. And I say that I noticed I was in another country the other day. I was in Panama with the first inauguration flight this time for Cayman Airways, and I saw that gasoline was less than $2 a gallon, $2 US a gallon, and I was asking them why how is it that you can have gasoline for that price? And they were saying to me that, well, they make a lot of money from the canal zone fees, and they're using them to develop their country and to develop their people. That is what the taxes that the government collects for, is to help their people, to make them better off. It's not to brag about how much money you have saved over the other government. It's not about to brag how you have put more money in the bank than the other government. It's not about that. It's to make your people comfortable and to feel secure in their own country. And what we need to do is we need to put a lot of millions of dollars in investment in alternative energy so the Cayman people can take advantage of that. They cannot continue with this high rise of energy where we have no alternative, where we are like slaves to one organization, to one conglomerate. That is unacceptable to the Caymanian people, and the Caymanian people should get up and say, we've had enough. It's like what the movie said, hell no, we're not going to take any more.
Okay, folks, that is it for the record today. I will dispense of my closing comments because we have gone over the time. I just want to say to you, continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman, and join Sterling Drainey Banks at 12:15 for Talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And by the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Visit gov.ky/steps to learn more. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman